Hi guys, welcome to Redefined Gospel YouTube channel where we are thriving in Christ. This channel seeks to link the word of God to the contemporary times and ultimately ensure that we are thriving in Christ. So in case you're new here and you are new to this channel, new to this space, hi, my name is Anne Njoroge. So if you're inclined to this kind of content, kindly do subscribe. Hit on the red button written subscribe, and once it turns gray, hit on the bell and you will see the option of all. So click on all so that you get all post notifications each time I upload. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back, but I really hope you subscribe. So in case you're not subscribed, kindly do subscribe. Kindly do subscribe to my YouTube channel and I will really appreciate. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Comment, all those good things. Zifanya zote sawa sawa. Let's get straight right in. And this is about my very first moot court experience. So in case you're not a law degree, and I think I should have said this in my intro, in addition to being a Christian content creator, I am a lawyer by profession, lawyer based here in Kenya, but I am currently undertaking my advocates training program to become an advocate, which in other countries would normally be termed as the bar exams, or the bar, so as to get into the bar and to be admitted into the bar. So I'm currently there. I'm remaining with one more term between January and March so that I can do my bar exams in April. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. So a moot court, so in case you're not a lawyer, a moot court is a simulation of court. It's normally the various moot court competitions that normally take place within the country, within schools. It can be even inter-school, where you just create a question and then you're in court. We have people on this side, on the plaintiff side, and on the defendant, on applicant or respondent, where we have like one side and the other side if you've watched legal drama. And then there are also international competitions. You've probably seen my video where I attended the Jean Pictet Moot Court competition in Aubernay, France. I have 2 videos on that and I'm going to link them down below. I also went for the Prize Media Moot Court competition in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I have 2 videos on that and I'm going to link them down below. So there are also international competitions which range. There are so many of them that you can get. I'm going to put on the description box the various international moot court and regional moot court competitions that we have. Yeah, I also went for the international committee for the Red Cross in Arusha, Tanzania, but by then I don't think I had a YouTube channel. I didn't have a YouTube channel. Yeah, and various other competitions which I'm going to narrate as time goes by, but I want to narrate my very first moot court experience. So I learned of moot court in Form 2. Not because, yeah, by Form 2, if you have been on this channel, you know that I started visualizing and wanting to be a lawyer since class 6, and so I grew interest. I wanted to know the loops, what is happening, what's up, and all those things. So I remember going through a newspaper back in Form 2 in school, in the library, and I saw a picture of 3 people who had medals, and they had won the all Kenyan moot court competition, and they were from Moi University then. And so when I saw that, I read the article and it was like, oh, so they usually like moot court competitions where students simulate that they're in court and then one side wins and then they can get medals. And I was like, this is why law school is fun. This is why I want to be here. So before the actual admission day, there was like a certain form that they had indicated that it needs to be submitted before the admission date itself, which eventually we got to learn that it wasn't necessary. So we went to KU, Kenyatta University. It is in Parklands. Went to Parklands and went to the new side. If you have been to Kenyatta University, so the new side. And then we didn't use the lift, we used the stairs. By then, like, I don't like the lift, Mimi. Like, it ishtuanga kwanza if I'm alone. And then anyway, in 4th year kuna siku nilikuwa mabati, hata tujafika 4th year, bado tuko 1st year. But like in stories, But I remember, so we used the stairs, and then when we got to second floor, I saw the moot court. Now, if you have been Kenyatta University, you know there's a moot court. There's now the new modern moot court on second floor. And I remember telling my mom, walk on a moot court. So I don't think she understood what exactly I was saying, but I knew that there was moot court. So then we come, we register and all that, and then we just go by. You know, I know there's a moot court, but I don't know what activities are taking place rather kwa moot court. I don't know if there's any activity or how does one enter. I didn't know all those things. So yeah, I hope the Moot Society nowadays usually has a desk during orientation, or maybe I missed that part where that was being told. But then again, so we get into first year, and you know, when you are getting into first year, there's so many questions you have. You're being taught all these cases, all these sections, all these things, and you're wondering, what should I retain, what will the exam look like, and all those things. Remember being given an assignment where you're like, how do we go about it, how do we do it? There's that confusion because you don't really understand. And by the way, just as a side note, come January 2021, I'm starting a very small mentorship program for law people who are behind me. Generally, if you're not at the stage I'm at, so maybe you're in first year, second year, third year, fourth year, or you're transitioning, I'm starting a small. I have a group of 5. I asked on my Instagram, so currently I have a group of 5. The maximum I can go is up to 10. So in case you're interested, I think you can just drop your email down below, or just say you're interested. Yeah, just drop your email down below, or you can email me. If you don't want to go public, you can email me. The email is always on the description box, but it is mombinjoroge32@gmail.com. So there's always that confusion. You don't really know, like, what is it that is expected and everything. I remember there's a fourth year that came on, and I really, like, I'm so grateful to her. I even, sijui kama I can remember her name, but she sat on the same place we were with a friend of mine, and she told us so many things. The thing that I took and I ran with was the fact that there was moot court, and you can have, and you know, it's funny because she had never been to moot, she had never done moot, but she was like, there's moot court, you can actually participate in moot court, you can, you know, you should try this avenue of being in a moot court society. And don't worry, there may be international law topics you will learn in third year. Don't worry, you will learn. So just participate. I was like, how do you get to know, and then how do I get to know these opportunities? And then I was like more interested than my friend, because my friend eventually didn't like get to moot and everything. So interested, and then she was like, they always come around, you know, first year classes, because the society is really small. And I was like, cool. So then we go on with school, we're going on, and then two ladies come to our class, and they're like, we are from Kenya Model United Nations, we are conducting moot court preliminaries. Preliminaries is where the Moot Court Society conducts a mini moot court, so that they can choose the people who will represent the school. In this case, these were the people who will represent the school at the United Nations, for the Kenya Model United Nations, under the International Court of Justice, which I think I'm going to talk about eventually, because some of the things blossomed from there and all that. So then they said the question is in the printing, the cyber, the printing area, the printing room or cyber, but the printing room stroke cyber. I just graduated the other day, but I think it's a printing room or a cyber. So the question is there. You can go ahead and check out the question. And she left. And you have to be a team of 3. So these guys actually volunteered to be part of the team, and there were various grounds. There was an issue of jurisdiction, locus, admissibility, and then there was another one on treaties, law of treaties. A treaty, I think someone had breached the terms of the treaty, I don't remember properly, and then there was an issue of a diplomat being arrested, diplomatic immunity, and all those things. So those were the issues. So we decided, let us divide. And so the guys were like, I'll take immunity, I'll take treaties, we'll just learn. And then so I took jurisdiction, and a fourth ground that I can't really remember. So I take up that, and we go. So you are in first year. You don't know how to search for look for Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties, or Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, VCDR, or you don't understand that there are landmark cases of jurisdiction, that the ICJ, there's a certain statute that governs the jurisdiction, and that should be the first reference point. I didn't know that. I didn't know that before you go for preliminaries, you need to really prepare. And so the night before, that's when I actually prepared, and I don't even have a picture in that dress. If I do, I'm going to like post it here. But I wore a certain dress that surely I wore a dress that wasn't really official in that court, but I'm in first year. And then the previous night, that's when I was Googling. I got one case from Wikipedia, and then I got that jurisdiction. They have jurisdiction because of this, and all that. So I'm so glad that I wasn't in the respondent side, because if I was in the respondent side, then having in-depth research when it comes to jurisdiction is very important. So that aside, the day comes. So have we ever met together to find out what does this person have, what does this other person have? We have never met. It's like being in a law firm and you have like 3 lawyers who are handling a case. Each goes and handles their own grounds, each does their own submission, and they go to court without any, like, you don't even know what's the position of the firm. You're just going, both the 3 of you. So that is exactly what we were doing. So we go, we enter, and then we ask which side we want to be. We want to be in the side of applicants. We are first years, because that was being asked, are you first years? No, what year are you in? And we're like, we are first years. So before even that came, before they opened the moot court, we are 2 of us. One of us, Hayuko. So we call Hayuko. We don't know what their ground is about. We know nothing about, I think he was handling either immunity or treaties, I don't remember. He's nowhere to be found. So we're like, oh my god. And then he comes. This guy had been partying all night and was hungover. He had no idea. He had a paper, like he had researched like 3 lines of submissions, and each of the team was being given 15 minutes. What are you going to be saying in 15 minutes? Because all of us have no content, 0 content. So we get in there, and thinking about how I was doing it like in first year, and the first years that came subsequently, hey, guys have improved over time. I was just the one who was like off the radar. But it was actually first year, first semester, like the first month or the second month when it was starting. So we go into the moot court, then we start. So he's the one who's starting and introducing us. He's hungover, he doesn't even remember our names. So he was like, and my co-counsel are, and then the judge is like, you don't remember your co-counsel names? And like he couldn't even remember. And then he said some things, they were off. Like, I had no knowledge, but I could tell these things are off. So like afraid and all that. Then I stood up and talked about jurisdiction, and I said jurisdiction is this and this and this from what I got from Wikipedia. And then I had very few things to say, and then I had got like a quote here, a quote here. I was just saying them, but it helped that I am a good orator. And so, like, there are those people in moot court, like if you've been to moot court, like research 0, but PR and English, they will chapa kabisa, and they will look like they know it all. So I was kind of like that, but I wasn't like refined. So you could tell that this person has not done so much research. But then again, there's that grace period of this person is a first year. So, and then one of the lady judges who ended up to be a very great friend of mine, and person that I really respect, called Nancy. Nancy asks me, do you know the Nicaragua versus USA case? I had seen it and I had it, but I don't know the facts. I just know, like, for jurisdiction, this is what happened, but I don't know what happened. But I was so confident and said, yes, I know the case of Nicaragua versus US decided by the International Court of Justice in the year 1990. Is it 1986 or 96? I'm not sure. In this year, where the court held that this and this and this. That impressed her. I am in first year, but I knew nothing about what was happening with Nicaragua and US. I knew nothing. So we finished, and then the other side had really guys, like these guys were in 3rd year, and they were so good. They had quoted, they had sticky notes. I was like, sisi tulikuwa na paper moja. I was like, okay. So we get out there, and the guy comes, the guy from the other team, he comes, and he says, oh, you, and then he points to one of my team members, not the one who was hungover, the other one, like, you're really good, you're very calm. And then he looks at me and says, you are very fast as you talked, something of that sort, and something around the fact that I wasn't as good enough as, you know, the other team member. And he was trying to show that we are the ones who are going to be chosen. I was like, it's okay, it's just a first try, I've never done this before, I'm going to learn. So we get back to get results to know the teams that will be selected. So apparently they were not selecting teams, but they were selecting individuals. So they take the best individuals and then they join them up to the various teams. Guess what? I am chosen as an individual to be part of the school team. I was shocked. I was like, what? Like, I was like really shocked. But you know, at that point, I think even my research, I knew it wasn't that good, but I didn't think it was that bad until now I got that experience. You get? Guess which team naekwa? I am put in the same team with this guy and, you know, the lady friend. So in the same person who said I wasn't good enough. And I was like, God, like how is this going to play out? So we start like doing it, and then we formed our WhatsApp group, and then we divided the grounds, and people were to do the submissions, and then they sent samples of how submissions should be done. And so on this day, they both say that we need to have a meeting to meet so that there's some issues we need to discuss. So I go there and then I meet them, and the guys say, they say that we don't think we are going to continue with this moot court. You know, and it was like a week to now actually going to the UN. And I have invested, I have read, there's a book on international law known as Malcolm Shaw. Even now when you give me Malcolm Shaw, I don't need to go to the table of contents. Like, I can go to the exact chapters and tell you this, the point on statehood is here, it's here, because I really read Malcolm Shaw and Ian Brownlee on public international law. So then I was like, what? Like, you want to quit, and we are at this point, there's no way I can moot alone. I felt so bad, and they were like, we are busy, we're in third year, we are busy. And you know, looking back, I think people have, I won't even shade or anything, people have different ways in which they work, and people have not capacities, but some people don't want to take a lot on their plate, some people do. Because in fourth year I had a dissertation, I had 2 international moot court. There was a lot going on, but anyway, we are not all the same. But they made third year look, third year wasn't, and I know, okay, I know I'm just getting off the story, but there's so much time in law school. Do not be lied to. There's so much time. You can be more than just a student, and it helps. It gives you an upper hand. When you will be getting out, all of you will have a CV that you have a Bachelor of Laws degree, a first class to second upper. That's standard. But then again, what sets you apart from these other people? What will set you apart? So it's not like a guarantee that then you will be the most successful person, but it plays a huge role. And you know, subsequently, even as I share my very many moot court experiences, story, then you will learn, you will know with time. So subscribe if you're interested in that kind of content. But then they say, we are getting out. And you remember the guy wrote on the WhatsApp group that the wise ones, the clever ones, it was around, okay, the clever ones will remain in the race, but the wise ones will know when to step out. It made me look like I'm off and all that. So I called the lady who was the leader of ICJ in KU Parklands, and I'm like, they have bailed out on me. I really wanted to participate. And then she asked me, do you have the memorials? And then I was like, we're almost done. Of which even them, they hadn't really done much. We're almost done. Then she told me, tomorrow 12 p.m., you know, it was like in the evening. Tomorrow 12 p.m., that's when these memorials need to be sent out. What you do, work on the memorials, give me, we submit them. Then by tomorrow, I'll also look for other team members from the third years who won't have a hard time to loop in, but do the memorials. So I was like, okay, so I got materials. That night, I never slept. I was in first year, first semester. I never slept. And looking back, as I was I'm going to talk about the lessons that I have learned. But looking back, I see a lady who was ready to go all out to see the dream and the vision that she has, no matter the obstacles, that she will go beyond them and actually do them. It mattered not whether she was qualified or not, because she was not qualified. I mean, public international law is taught at third year. She is a first year. She doesn't know much about moot court. She has so much time to her hands. She should have just left it. But I see someone who's very determined. And sometimes I look back at these stories when I have things going on in my life, or things that I want to birth, or things, you know, things that I'm thinking and I think they are big, and I remember that, and I remember at that point, if someone would have looked at me, I wasn't qualified. And that's just a wake-up call to any one of you who feels like, I'm not qualified to do this, I'm not qualified to this, I'm not qualified to do this. You can do it. So the following morning, I get 2 team members. I get them who are really great friends. I don't know if they would mind, but they know themselves. No, I'll just, let me just mention them. I don't think sis Turimbaya isn't it? Pepela and Nancy Katunge, like they were amazing, and they became like these big sisters. We had great conversation and all that, and we went all the way to the finals. By the way, we didn't win, and I felt so bad we didn't win, but even in that 1 week alone, I grew as a mooter. I really grew. And because of the submissions and how they were looking at things, because they also came in and refined the submissions and everything, I remember going through my old emails a while back, like 2 weeks back, and I would see our conversations about the moot court. This person needs to do this, the other person needs to do this, and some funny things that Pepela was sending. But I, like, they were a blessing by themselves. And then we became the first runners up, and word went around the school. And I remember the guy, you know, the wise guy, coming on and telling me congratulations. And even in the subsequent year, where we ended up going to Arusha after our team won the national moot court competition, so we went to represent Kenya in the African region in Arusha. I remember him coming on and said, oh, you really went on with this. And that is to say that never listen to naysayers. From this story, like, sometimes we listen to people to determine whether we'll be successful or not. I think the most important thing is that, is this in the plan of God? If it is in the plan of God, then he will find a way for it to work for you. He will find a way. He is God. He will make it work at the end of the day, and, you know, and align things. God will align things. No matter, you know, how much you feel like you're not qualified, you feel like you don't know anything, God will make everything align. And I can't emphasize enough, especially for people who are in law school, how much that experience alone really grew me. Because by the time I was getting in second semester, then I would see exam questions and I see them like a moot. And, you know, seeing them as a moot, that means I will apply the knowledge. I won't just have the knowledge, but I know how to apply, because I have known how to look at a set of facts and the law and merge it and have arguments to it. And it was so wonderful. I mean, I think there's so many mistakes that I made along the way in law school, and I'm going to talk about them, you know, in subsequent videos. But I think this is one of the things that I'm so proud of, and one of the things that has really, in the moments where I felt I'm not qualified, has really reminded me that I need not to be qualified. As long as God has said yes, that is all that matters. Yeah. And that's all about it, about my very first moot court experience. I hope you have learned. Do tell me what's your takeaway. Comment down below. If there are any law school related videos, my law school journey, moot court questions, and all those things, kindly comment down below. I'll be sure to see how well I can create a video out of it, and I'll really appreciate. If you want to join the mentorship program, it is opened up to until, let me say, the 7th of January. Up to the 7th of January. I just need 5 more people. I can't do more than 10, but maybe in future we can grow and expand. But yeah, so you can feel free to email me at mumbinjoroge32@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have learned something. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, kindly do subscribe, hit on the bell and click on all, so that you get all post notifications each time I upload. If you're on Instagram, take a screenshot of this video and share on your Instagram stories and tag me at Njoroge254. You can also share the link through WhatsApp and all other platforms. Even law school, share it to your friends, share it to your WhatsApp groups. Let people know that there's someone who's making legal based content and is born again and is seeking to show people that we can excel because we are the chosen generation called for to show his excellence. That will be it for this week's video. As always, remember that God loves you a lot. Until next week, bye bye.